I would like to first acknowledge the Yagera and Turrbal people who are the traditional custodians of the land upon which we stand, their elders past and present. I acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this city and this region. Living in Brisbane, I felt like I could be living in any typical modern Western city. On a day-to-day basis, references to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture was not readily visible, especially if one was not purposely looking for it. My first impressions while walking around my neighbourhood of West End was the feeling that there was a lack of historical references to the indigenous inhabitants of this area. Only when searching online for the history of West End, I found out the place name for the area was called Kurupa, which was named by the Turrbal people who had resided here. I felt a lot of the historical information, both online and around the neighbourhood, appeared to relate to European settlement in the area and the subsequent industries and factories that were set up here. These can be seen through the roads and parks being named after European people of that time. There was also historical landmarks being displayed in public areas as a reminder of the industrial past of this place. The legacy of colonization in the area has meant that there are minimal information relating to the first Australians who lived here originally. I did not see any park or road names or monuments dedicated to any Aboriginal people who may have lived here. In fact, I thought the most obvious historical reference to Aboriginal people in this area is the existence of a street name called Boundary Street, which was used to separate European people from the Yagera and Turrbal people of the area. I felt it was unusual that the street name was still in existence and not renamed due to the potential negative connotations and feelings this may invoke in people. I felt this may be further indication of the dominant European narrative that may fail to acknowledge the injustices faced by Indigenous people of the past. However, I did see some recognition and display of Aboriginal culture and artwork around my suburb, but it was not always obvious. The few artworks available tended to be under bridges or on the side of walls, which I only noticed due to using the bicycle lanes that ran past it. Old photographs of Aboriginal people from the 19th century was also prominently displayed at the train station near my home. None of these artworks carried any explanations about them. I would also occasionally see Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags flying around my neighbourhood. Due to the diverse backgrounds, countries and languages of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, I felt these cultural references may appear a little superficial. After seeing these artworks, I did not come away understanding Indigenous culture or people any better. Who were the people who painted these? What or who did the artworks represent? Who were the people in the photographs and what group or country did they belong to? These were the kind of questions that lingered with me after seeing these artworks. Perhaps then, the artworks acted as an initiator for further cultural research and understanding. Overall, I do think the artworks are an important start in recognizing the existence of Aboriginal people, culture, and art in this area. Having grown up in New Zealand, I feel that I have had relatively more engagement and awareness towards Maori culture and language, both from my schooling and from what I feel is an increasing visibility and acceptance of Maori culture in New Zealand. Having only lived in Australia for a short period of time, I feel that the general lack of visibility of Indigenous cultures and history can make it easy for myself to sometimes forget how there was once a thriving community who lived here well before the arrival of Europeans.